I'm Dean Reller. It's with Rob Thurston. Rob, we finally got a chance to talk with you. You're a fast guy running 2 cars. How do you do it?
Well, we've been busy, real busy, and then we got the wrist injury a couple weeks in the Legend car, and I'd like to come on here a couple weeks ago, but we were too busy working on the cars and stuff, but finally got kind of an off weekend. Both cars are running pretty good, and just keep them busy every week.
I've been following your career since the beginning, and that was probably the biggest wreck I've ever seen you ever have, was it?
Yeah, that was by far my worst wreck ever. I've never had an injury and never had a crash quite like that where I flew over the top of 2 cars. So it was interesting. I hope it never happens again.
Oh, we hope so too, because I'll tell you what, even though you have the safety equipment, we don't want to see anybody getting hurt. Your hand, which looks like it's a lot better now, it's going to hopefully give you something to hang on it with both hands when you're going around the track. Last week came back a good race. You won the feature race. Had to be a little bit of good medicine to get back to victory lane after that wreck a couple weeks before.
Yeah, I can tell you that the wrist didn't hurt at all after I was in victory lane there. It felt really good. Started to stiffen up on Monday a little bit, but Saturday night was perfect.
Let's talk about your late model adventures now. You jumped into the late model class while still running the Legends, which is really a handful. Just running 1 car, let alone 2. That car is a proven winner, that late model car that you jumped in, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a great car. We're getting the hang of it now, and it keeps me busy at the track. I don't get to think about my setup too much. I just usually leave it, so it works pretty well. But the late model program's coming around, and hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll be running top 3 every week.
Now you purchased that car from Brian Roach, and that car is a 2-time track championship car. Brian give you a little setup advice with that too?
Yeah, he helps me out a lot. He gives me pointers when we need help, and yeah, that car's been to victory lane a lot of times, and I think it wants to go there again soon.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, you're doing a really good thing. Learning, not trying to jump in too hard, because that was something that you did with the Legends car. You just started out slow, progressively got a little bit better and faster, started winning races, and now you're like the top dog in that division, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
One more thing about the late models. A lot of drivers that come from the Legends jump into a late model. What's the feel like jumping from the small Legends car to the big late model car?
It's a complete change. I mean, the first couple weeks I didn't know what I was doing when I get back into the other car. I think I was driving one car and the other, but I'm starting to remember what they both handle like and how to drive through the corners, so that's helped me out a lot.
Are there a lot of similarities on how the car handles or feels?
Not really. The Legend car is a lot more squirrelier, and you got to be real careful with the gas. In the late model, you can drive it in real hard, come out real hard, and it usually stays pretty smooth and stuff like that.
What's it feel like to be in the late model going a little bit faster than in the Legends car?
It was pretty scary the first week. I forgot that I had another 4 feet of car to the outside of me, and I was coming pretty close to the walls for a while. But now we're starting to remember what car we're in and what time, and we're getting the hang of it.
In the Legends car, you sit essentially in the middle of the car. In the late model, you're back over on the left-hand side like normal, so I would imagine that would be quite an adjustment.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Tell you what, you have to up your trailer too. We're standing right next to your trailer, and you have to get a big hauler to haul both of these cars around now too.
Yeah, we're looking for a diesel. If anyone has a dually diesel for sale, we're looking to buy one because our truck can't quite pull this trailer very good.
The next thing up is probably the semi, I suppose, right?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Of course, you don't do this alone. You've got some really good people helping you out too.
Yeah, I got Josh Vetter with Vetter Performance Engine, comes every week, and he's my spotter, and he works on the cars. And my girlfriend Abby Peterson, she comes every week, and she's also a spotter and helps out. My mom kind of keeps us all organized every week, gets the lineups for us, and tells us where we should go.
I'll tell you what, talk about a dedicated mom. She's here every week, and she does everything for you. You really got to be fortunate to have a mom like that. I'll tell you what. Well, I'll tell you what, that's Rob Thurston. We had a chance to visit with him here. He retires car number 2, and he races in 2 divisions right here at I-94 Raceway. More with Speed Talk coming up right after this.
I-94 Raceway in Sauk Center in the pits after the races with the modified feature winner, Oren Hoeper. Congratulations there, Oren.
Thank you.
Boy, I mean, what a wild race. I mean, 76 John Notch has won the first 6 features, and you broke the string here, the 7th one. That must make you feel good.
Yeah, it makes me really feel good.
I suppose, you know, it's been kind of frustrating for you this year. You got a fast car, just haven't been able to beat Notch. What was the difference here this week?
I don't know. It just must have been my weekend. I've been trying to working my hardest all every week. Just usually small stuff going wrong.
Well, you got ahead of him.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, so
that
he
helped.
had to pass you.
That helps. Usually I can't catch him once he gets out front, so that's why I was hoping I got out front first. That's what happened.
And you did get out front.
Yep.
And then, of course, he got right behind you.
Yep.
Yellow flag with just a few laps to go. What were you thinking?
I was thinking that he might get me, but to be honest, yeah.
So you just pushed it in as hard as you could?
Yeah, I come in as hard as I could and hoped it stuck, and then it stuck. So.
Because the thing was, I don't know if you saw it, but on the restart, he came down below you. Could you feel him?
I saw him.
I saw
him.
That's how close he got to you.
Yeah.
And then out of number 2, I was very impressed. You kept your foot in it. You know, you didn't back off at all, and you really.
Yeah.
You suppose you couldn't. I mean, if you would have backed off.
Yeah, I knew if I backed off, he'd get me, but.
Yeah. Talk about the modifieds this year. They've really been fun. You have a good, strong ride underneath you.
Yeah, I do. The mod's really fun because it's a pretty affordable class to race against. Good competition. Usually we don't hit each other. And
open wheel.
Open wheel, that's fun. I like that.
You know, you raced in the U-Car division up in Fergus Falls for all those years.
Yep.
What was it like going from a U-Car, very little horsepower, front wheel drive, to a big horsepower modified? What was that like?
It was different. You had to get used to it. You had to get used to that power.
How long did it take you to get used to it?
Not too long ago. I was pretty quick at it.
Did you spend a lot of time practicing by yourself? You know, doing just kind of went out there. How about the track in Fergus Falls compared to Sauk Center? You run both. You're one of the very few guys that run both. What did compare the two?
I like Fergus better. It seems smoother. Sauk Center is a little rougher. Doesn't stick as good, but
concrete or the tar's a little older.
Yep, older.
But you know, the tracks aren't identical. They are different.
They are different. Fergus got a little bit more banking, I think. And Sauk Center's a little bit flatter. All are different.
You set your car up different?
No, you don't have to.
Leave it the same? Yep. Well, and your dad, of course, got you involved, and your older brother as well, you know?
Yep.
So they were a big part of your racing, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. And they helped me.
Well, we got guys noisy in the background, so we'll have to stop it. But congratulations, and we'll see you again.
Thank you.
It's Oren Hoeper. We'll be back with more Speed Talk after this. Down here in the pits after the races at the I-94 Raceway in Sauk Center with the feature winner in the U-Car division, Jason Martigone. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Boy, what a wild race. Tell me about that race.
I don't know. I started at, I think it was 3rd place, and I was just following the guy that dropped back to 5th. Just kind of ran my own race, and then come to find out at the end, the guy, 1st place guy got penalized 2 positions, and that put me in the winner's circle.
Yeah. Boy, what was your emotions there when you found out? Because you thought, you know, I finished 2nd, got a good run.
Yeah.
But then what'd you
Well, I was coming around turn 4, and they started waving me into the winner's circle, and, you know, thought I was in trouble for something at first, so I didn't know what to expect, and then I just kind of put 2 and 2 together, and well, now I got the trophy to prove it.
Yeah, boy. Tell us about, you know, you've been racing here in the U-Cars for a couple of years. It hasn't been easy. I mean, it's been a tough road to get to the victory lane.
Yeah, and this year, you know, we haven't really had much time to work on my car. We've been working on our teammate's car. He had that big wreck last week, and the car shouldn't have been repaired. But
That's Lee Taro, number 4, right?
yeah, it shouldn't have been repaired, but we just stuck it out, you know, put it close to every day, you know, day and night, putting that thing back together.
Tell me about these cars a little bit. Front-wheel drive, 4-cylinders. Most of you guys are running the Escorts.
Yeah. Last year I had an Omni that didn't really work out that well, so I got rid of that, picked myself up an Omni Escort, and it just came through, you know, came to me this year.
How about, you know, do you like this division? You know, there's a lot of young guys in it. You're a young guy.
Yeah, you know, the only thing I'd like to see more is people using their head out there a lot more. I mean, with these cars, they're not like a late model where you just cut them off and start over. I mean, these, you know, once you bend them a certain way, they're gone. So,
what's it take to get into a U-Car? You know, a lot of guys, they think, well, I got to have thousands and thousands of dollars to get into racing. You guys don't have that much money. You got more time into your car than money.
Yeah, I ended up picking up this car for free last year, just for a spare car. And then Lee Taro talked me into building it and actually getting rid of my other car. But I put a little bit too much money into this one for being a U-Car, but, you know, what do you do? Yeah.
Well, you know, I raced U-Cars a few years ago, and I suppose I probably had about $1,000 into it.
I had a little bit more than that.
Yeah. But these guys, you know, that was a few years ago. You know, the economy is the way it's at.
Everything's going up. And this is, you know, I took a little bit more pride in this one because I did everything myself.
Oh, really?
I didn't take anything out to anybody. And, you know, I built the whole thing myself. I had somebody do the stickers up on it. That's about it.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a sharp-looking car, too.
Thank you.
Yep, so it's really nice. Well, congratulations on your first win.
Thank you.
Looking pretty good in points, so see you again.
Hope to see some more.
That's right. Jason Martigone here at the I-94 Raceway. Back with more Speed Talk after this. I-94 Raceway in Sauk Center. The modified feature winner, Dave Schaefer. Congratulations.
Thank you much. Appreciate it.
Gosh, man, you came back this year to the I-94 Raceway, jumped into a modified, and at the beginning of the year, it didn't really look real good for you. Tonight, the car stuck and you held those guys off. How'd you do it?
It was a lot of work preparing for it. So what we did, we worked on the car constantly. I got a book probably this thick on just different setups that we've tried, and we ran it for the whole gamut. We ran it from too tight to too loose, and now we know everything in between. And so tonight everything hit, worked up great. We've always had the power, I think, we just haven't had the right setup. Sure. But now I think we got a real good idea for the right setup, and we can be competitive the rest of the year.
How about talk about the actual race? You got the lead, and it looked like you really got into a good rhythm. You know, I said that when I was announcing. It's like, boy, he looks like he's really got a good rhythm. The guys weren't really catching you, you know?
Yeah.
Then the yellow came out. What were you thinking then?
I hated to see that yellow because I knew John Notch was right behind me. I looked up in the mirror and I knew we were going to have a heck of a battle coming off there. And I know he's got a small block, a small motor, and I've got a 350. I was betting I was going to be able to beat him in a drag race. We beat him down the corner. He was able to come into the corner harder than what I was. And he got right along beside me, but he was loose, and I had much better grip coming off the corner. So when I come off the corner, just put the pedal to the metal, and we just pulled right away from him. And it worked really good. We were on our own again. I got back into my rhythm. Everything was just going just perfect. And then that next caution came off. And are we going to do it 2 times in a row? And there's a lot of floor dry down on the bottom there, and we decided we're going to try to go a little bit high on it. I know that left an opening for John down on the bottom, and basically did the same thing again. You know, and he was thinking 8 tires were going to stick better than 4, but they didn't hold for him. He was able to come into the corner harder, but I was able to come out of the corner harder, and that's what won the race for us, being able to come out of the corner harder.
That's what I was going to mention to you, because there was that 71 car, I think you blew a motor or whatever,
Yeah.
so there was all that oil, and they had to put all that speedy dry down. So you must have just thought, what the heck could happen, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
How hard do you want to push it into the corner, you know? Because you don't get any time to see what the track is like, you just have to go.
There was no time to warm up the tires, no time to find out what was going to happen, and so
You really went for it, though.
we just had to go.
You
for it,
did.
You know, and we were in the same groove that we were driving maybe about 8, 9 years ago.
Yeah.
High
Yeah.
along the wall, and I can remember I used to take the car and put it almost right on the wall, and sometimes we hit the wall and scrape it, and then just come back down just a little bit, and then keep the high groove. My tire temperature stayed really, really cool, and hardly was tire salt. And the easiest race I've driven all year in the last 2
Yeah.
years. Just easy race,
Huh.
car handled and stuck like glue.
That is fun, because you raced here on the asphalt about 5, 6 years ago, I suppose,
Yeah.
and did really well. And talk about how it's changed. Like you mentioned, the groove, it seems, have changed.
Yep.
And now everyone runs on the bottom.
Yeah, and I think there's room for that top groove. For us, it
Tonight
worked
you did anyway.
It just stuck like crazy,
Yeah.
and it was going to go.
Huh. Could it be something to do with the weather?
Could have been the weather or the way we've been setting the car up.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to get it so that we could run that top groove really, really good. Because I noticed when they get down that bottom groove, they heat their tires up.
Yeah.
And if I can stick with them for 1 lap, they're going to drop off.
Huh.
Their tires will overheat, and mine haven't.
Yeah.
So we're really saving the tires, really conserving them. I think I've gotten smarter as I've gotten older, right? And I haven't but I don't take the chances that we maybe used to take.
You have quite a racing family too, with your son Cam, who races the go-karts, and your wife Lisa, who's raced with the jet skis and this and that. So you guys all get together, and it's a real family racing sport, isn't it?
Cam is leading the points down in Atwater in his cages class and in the cage class. He's about 300 points ahead. He's going to win the mid-season championship, and we're going to hang tight. And hopefully he's going to win the year-end. He's never gone a year without winning a championship, so it makes me feel bad.
Because you haven't won one?
We haven't won one. So we tried.
Yeah. Well, you've done really well, though. I mean, every year you've been consistent.
And when we raced the whole year, we've never placed out of the top 5.
Yeah.
We've always been a top 5 car.
Yeah.
And this year, I don't know if we're going to, while we're selling the car's going to be gone on the 20th.
So you have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we're
building a new one,
building
right?
a brand new car. We're going to go with left-hander, and I think Richie Snyder's got a good product there, and he knows a lot about the car, and so I won't have to learn everything. They even got an owner's manual with it. You know, I never had a car that comes with an owner's manual.
Wow, that's how you talk about how things have changed.
Yes, competition here's got really keen.
Yeah.
But hey, they're a great bunch of guys to drive with. They are great. There's nobody in there out to run you off the track, or run into you. Very professional drivers.
I know you guys, like you're talking about professional, you guys try to have a very professional team. You have a lot of people who help you in the pits, and sponsorship too is big. And I know Tom's Food Pride really stepped out to the plate with you guys.
Tom has been just super great with us. He's stuck with us through thick and thin, year in and year out.
Yep.
And he's been a really good sponsor for us.
Yep. And that's really that's a big part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. You gotta have sponsorship, and you gotta have a good pit crew, and you gotta have a family that backs you and lets you do these things.
Well, what's your week like? I mean, with Cam racing and you racing, how many nights a week is it?
Well, it really the racing part. Friday night we're down in Atwater. Saturday night we're here at I-94. Sunday we take the night off, and
then it's maintenance.
Then it's a little bit of maintenance, but we've been really lucky. Hey, my car looks as good tonight as it did the first night we were out here. And we ran dirt and ran alley, and
that wasn't the case.
That was not the case. First night it looked like somebody had taken a ball-peen hammer and beat the heck out of it. So we like the asphalt. It's very professional racing.
Well, congratulations on your first win and maybe some many more, huh?
Thank you much, and I hope so.
That's Dave Schaefer. We'll be back with more Speed Talk after this. Back now on the Speed Talk program, down here at the I-94 Raceway in Sauk Center, with our late model feature winner, Trent Snyder. Congratulations, man. You gotta be careful with you though, because you had quite the wreck last week.
Yes, we did.
But things have really turned around. Let's talk about that race in particular. You got out front right away, and it looks like you were so smooth. That's something that I mentioned. It looked like you had ran a perfect race. It was just so smooth in the center group. What did it feel like?
It felt smooth. It felt like we were on a string. We were just running out the car. It was just perfect the whole race. It got a little bit tight at the end, but it was flying.
Well, and there was that caution flag with about 10-15 laps to go. You had to get lined back up. What were you thinking at that point?
I wanted to stay out front. I knew that. I knew Sean was behind me. He's always tough. But just gave her everything.
Well, and you know that Coranda is the point leader this year. He's won a race. And, he was always run well on the very bottom of the track. And it looked like to me that the groove had moved up a little bit tonight. I mean, you weren't running the very bottom of the track. So what were you trying to guard the bottom, or what do you do?
I was just trying to run my own line. I was giving him room down there. I knew he was super fast. I think his car was getting a little tight, but he ran me clean, and he was definitely fast. He was there the whole time, and I was really nervous about that. But he ran me clean, and that's a good race.
You've raced in the late models for like 3 years now. I mean, so even though you just graduated high school, you're a veteran in the late model class. So maybe you'd be a good person to ask. When you are in the lead, you said tonight you ran your own line. You don't necessarily change your car, how your driving style is, on who's behind you, or blocking. Does that come into the factor at all?
Maybe on the last lap, but I know some guys block, but you gotta run your own line, otherwise it's just you're gonna cause accidents. It's not gonna be a good race.
You've had a lot of real close finishes over the years. I mean, you finished second quite a few times, and you've won quite a few too. Some must feel good to get your first win of the year.
Yeah, we've been struggling all year with the car. Built a new car this year and came out, I think I finished third, but then we just had a bad string where we crashed. I had to report accident. Had to go to the hospital, and now we've come back. Finally got our first win.
Now let's talk about last week just a little bit. You got, how do I say this? You got involved with someone else, got some contact with someone else, and stepped up into the wall. What was it like in the car? I mean, had to have been one of your worst wrecks.
Yeah, well, besides ones at the Dells last year, that was definitely our worst wreck. I was just going, all of a sudden I was heading for the wall. I just pulled in mine at the last second and held on, but it was just holding on for the ride.
Why was it a bad wreck? Because of your angle into the wall hitting driver's side door?
Yeah, I'd say how it hit the front and swung around and hit the driver's side. It was a pretty good jar.
and then you went to the hospital, but you said you're pretty sore, but
Yeah,
nothing broke.
everything checked okay, no broken bones, just bruised and swelling. So.
Well, that means, did you have a lot of time to work on the car, or was it your dad spending extra overtime?
Sunday I was a little sore when I got up, but then we had to pull the motor out and ran it all the way over to Wisconsin. And then parts came on Wednesday, got it all bolted on, got the motor back on Thursday. Put that in all day Friday and finished her up this morning.
Jeez. So that's the life of running a late model, huh?
Yeah, so it was a busy week.
You guys have run some bigger touring races too. I know you're going to be excited about the Mars race coming up too. Is that a goal of yours to make it into a series like that?
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to maybe try to run more Mars races next year at Las Mars, and then maybe some Remax if we get a car like that. Eventually at ASA or further up.
You've seen some of the guys that you've run with Roach going up there last week with that Hansen runs the Remax, and Tim Olson and a couple other of our guys. Is that a realistic? You know, is it all money?
Yeah, a lot of it's money, and we just need to get a good sponsor, and that's what we need right now. We don't have any money backing us, but that's the thing. We run right with all these guys, beat them that run these series, and they're running right up in there. So I know we can run these series. We just need the financial backing.
Still learning a lot?
Yeah, learning a lot about car setup and just racing. I mean, this is my third year, but I'm a late model, but there's still a lot left to learn.
You started off the Legends, now you're late model. How long did it take you to get comfortable in late model? I guess the reason I ask this is because quite a few guys this year have gone up from modifieds to late models, or different divisions to late models. And I don't know how comfortable they are in the car. I mean, how comfortable can you be? How long does it take? How long did it take you?
It took me about a week, 2 weeks.
Oh, really? You felt comfortable right
Came
away?
out, finished third our first night, and staying second the next week. But yeah, it takes a little while to get used to them. The cars are a lot bigger, they're a lot heavier, and they're just different.
You know, some people have said it's hard to get a feel for a late model. Where a modified, you can feel it, they say, you can feel it in your pants, you can feel it in your seat, you know? They said a late model, other people have said to me, you feel it with your hands. Is that the way you feel a late model?
Well, I never raced modified, so I wouldn't really know, but I don't know, you feel the wheel. And then, I don't know, I feel the seat.
You do?
I don't know, I've never raced a modified, so I can't really say.
Do you feel at home when you're in the car? You feel at home?
Oh, yeah, I'm real comfortable when I'm in there, especially now with the non-safety device. And I went out there today just to warm the car up without it, and I just, never again, that thing has to be on, and I just feel I don't feel safe without it.
It's not uncomfortable at all for you?
Not one bit. It's perfectly comfortable.
Well, I know you just graduated high school. You're still a younger guy. What's your plans? You going to college, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna attend Central Lakes College in Brainerd and just take some generals and go from there. Hopefully, find something I'm interested in, transfer out.
You're from that area?
Yep, it's about 14 miles away.
Okay, well, congratulations. I know crew is very dedicated, and you have a lot of fans down here too, so I'm real happy about it.
All right.
Your first win.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, we'll see you later.
All right.
Back with more Speed Talk after this.